Yeah, I put my stuff down.
Okay, we're ready. Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. It was properly posted on April 27th. All three commissioners are present. I'll lead us in the prayer and the pledge. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to get together and conduct the people's business. We're especially grateful that we get to honor a fine man in Cleo Fields today and all that he has done for his service to the county. We're thankful for him, Lord. We ask that you'll aid your hand and safety on all of our employees throughout the week as they do the people's work. In your name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of April 3rd, 17th, and 20th?
I'll move approval.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And recommendation from purchasing?
Good morning. This is for bid CW 23028 for janitorial supplies. We had 11 bids turn in for these routine items. And we did have one vendor, Staples, that bid, and they were the lowest on a lot of different items. However, their terms and conditions reflect the national contract that they are on. So only for items where they were lowest, the bid terms on the national contract did not meet the terms that we had in our bid. Escalation prices, different things on returns and time frame, things like that. So were not awarded those line items due to those terms. However, a lot of times Staples was the only bidder. So department heads will see where there's some gaps in the bid where there's no award, and that's okay because they will still be allowed to purchase off of the national contract, and we'll help them with that. So based upon final evaluation and on the items that did receive a low bid, we're recommending award to Classic Paper Supply, Mailer Company, Brady, Pyramid School Products, Central Poly, HD Supply Facilities, Unipack, Interboro, Harvey Sales, and Oklahoma Janitorial Supply.
I'll move approval of the recommendation of the purchasing office.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve the claims?
I'll move our claims.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any change to the blanket? No change.
Okay, I'll move approval.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any individual consideration on the consent docket? Not?
I'll move the consent docket.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
District 1.
Item 27 is an agreement that we have done in the last several years with MGT Consulting to determine the appropriate daily rate of detention at our juvenile center. And so I just wanted to bring this before you all because we hadn't done this yet this year.
Is there a motion?
I'll move approval.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And next we have Cleo's resolution, but the judges had asked if I could wait for a few minutes until maybe they could get here. So but we have some citizens signed up to be heard, so to not put them off any further, we could go ahead and do that. Mr. Cummings?
Good morning, everybody. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today since the grand jury report came in. It was kind of scoffed at by the jail trust. But there's a bit of a confusion on what it takes to vote the jail trust out. I've got one of the members up here said that it took all the members from the jail trust, all three of you, and then it had to go to the governor. And then the sheriff said it takes a majority of the jail trust, a majority of you all, and then goes to the governor for a signature. So if we can get a public clarification I don't want to spread misinformation. I have put out both of those statements because I don't know. Like anybody, I know the answer before I've asked, but I would appreciate it if you all could clarify it for anybody that's watched any of your social media, the proper way to eliminate the trust. And then, of course, we'd like to move forward with eliminating the trust. The challenge with scoffing at it with the jail trust as it was is that 4 more people have died since that last meeting. Sooner or later, somebody's got to take responsibility for the fact that we know they're incompetent. We've been shown they're incompetent by multiple sources, and nobody has ever acted or even called for a vote. So I don't know at what point the liability goes back on you all because you created it, not you. You two and Kevin Calvey created it. But the liability falls back on you if we don't call for a vote at least to get rid of the jail trust. Thank you very much.
Mark Falk.
So we just did the Pledge of Allegiance, which ends with liberty and justice for all. That is a mockery of what is happening here. It just is unbelievable to me that we have had 43 deaths in that jail since the jail trust took over. 43, by far the deadliest jail in America. A little over 2 years ago, there was a discussion here by the county commissioners as to whether they should call for the dissolving of the jail trust. Since that time, there have been well over 30 more deaths. At the time, you said they haven't had enough time to prove themselves. Well, they have now proven themselves. They are not just incompetent, they are criminal. We hear every week from people who have been tortured, harmed, injured, abused, traumatized, and family members of the people who have died in that jail. Every week, we talk to them all the time. We shed tears with them. This is about money, and we know that it is, but the reality of it is, what is a life worth? What are the 4 lives of the last month worth? What are the 43 people who have perished? What are their lives worth? We are asking you to call for the dissolving of this jail trust in the name of humanity, in the name of God, in the name of liberty and justice for all. I don't know what we can say. I feel like we're up here beating our heads against the wall because we have begged, we have yelled, we have raised our voices, we have been respectful, we have tried every approach. I don't know what to do but to ask for your humanity. Meanwhile, Oklahoma City is freeloading in that jail. They have not paid their bill in a year. While we're short on money, over $500,000 has not been paid. They thanked the jail trust for allowing them to be freeloaders in that jail while they renegotiate their contract. That $500,000 adds to the death toll in that jail because our new CEO cannot properly run that jail or protect people when she doesn't have the money to do it. Do the right thing. No matter how rich you are or powerful these people are, they are not above the law. Thank you.
Timothy Harper.
I worked at the Oklahoma County the Award of Valor there in 2004. So I knew the conditions of that facility and what it's like to work there. When I worked there, we had an average daily population of 2,700 to 2,800 inmates, yet we don't have the problems that we have now. So I feel that the problem is a manpower issue too. They're not hiring enough people to take care of these people. And that's going to be the core of your problem right there. If you can't man a jail, you can't protect the people that are there, and we have a duty to protect them under the Constitution. I'm going to tell a tale of two jails. One of them is the Oklahoma County Detention Center, which is a mile away from here. And the jail trust has been running it from 2019 to today. That's 4 years. So we've had 4 years to look at these stats. What is their population today? About 1,800. It fluctuates daily. It has had 2,800 inmates there. And the time frame which I'm looking at, there was about 26 to 2,800 inmates there. At the time, I'm going to compare this to another jail, pretty infamous jail that operated 7,700 or 7,075 miles away from here in Abu Ghraib, Iraq. And it was ran by the American military. And under they ran it for 7 years, from 2003 to 2010. They had a population around 8,000 at their most. They hovered between 7,500 to 8,000 inmates. Under their control, they were authorized actual torture by Ricardo Sanchez, the lieutenant general, and they were authorized to use military dogs in the facility, temperature extremes, sleep deprivation, sensory deprivation, and enhanced interrogation procedures. We would probably call that torture. And that was allowed to go on there. And if you don't remember Abu Ghraib, when you get done with the meeting, go ahead and Google it. If you remember the images that came out of that prison that was operated by our government, it'll bring it back fresh into your mind what you would have seen going on at a facility that operates in that manner. Our jail down here is governed by the state jail standards. Our legislature sets the standards that facility is supposed to run by, and it is also governed by the U.S. Constitution, which should not allow the conditions that are going on there to exist. This is the freest and most safest country in the world to live in, yet we have a higher death rate than the Abu Ghraib prison did in Iraq. We've had 43 deaths at the county jail since the jail trust has been in operation, and only a handful of staff have been convicted or charged with crimes dealing with this type of abuse of the inmates. The Abu Ghraib prison, depending on which source you quote, had 63 to 49 deaths in its operation during that time. At one point, they came under a mortar attack, which killed 36 inmates. So we're going to remove those inmates from their list of people killed. At the high end, that would have been 27 deaths or 13, depending on which statute you look at. We don't expect a mortar attack at the county jail or any type of attack like that. That hasn't happened, so we're going to remove those people. 36 that were killed in the mortar attack, 5 were killed by gunshots during a riot. Now, we have had one person killed by gunfire in that county jail. Why did that happen? Because he got out. If your dog gets out of your front yard and runs in the street and gets killed, is it that dog's fault or is it yours? Not comparing them to dogs, but as the keeper and handler of the jail, you're responsible for them. So there was they got out and they live streamed it, and they were concerned about their conditions there. They felt the need to do that because they were living in such horrible conditions that they did that. If anyone hasn't forgot that yet, 2 inmates were killed at Abu Ghraib due to blunt force and asphyxiation. One of them is the documented torture by the CIA, and 6 people died there of heart conditions. Here at the county jail, I would assume most of them are dying by health issues or neglect or something thereof like that. So that might be part of your problem to look at. It could be turnkey. I don't know. But I don't see my time up here. Huh?
You're over your time.
Oh, I am? All right. Well, I just want to say, if you can't manage a smaller American detention center that's not authorized use of torture and not in a war zone, not prone to mortar attacks where the inmates are subject to protections of the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights, please dissolve the jail trust. This has been an experiment in alternative management style and government function, and the result speaks volumes of failure.
Eleanor Thompson.
Good morning. I've had the privilege of being represented by two of you guys, Commissioner Mon and now Commissioner Bloomer, and I know Mr. Davidson. We meet up all the time. I'm not here to talk about what's going on in the jail. I think we all know that. I'm here to talk about where to put the jail, and it's just on my heart to come in and say this. I'm on two boards, and so I'm down here all of the time. Otherwise, I'm a lawyer, and I'm down here anyway. And so I understand what happens with traffic during trial dockets and that kind of thing. I also understand that people in the jail are going to make a court appearance at some point. And so your main issue in where to locate this has got to be your transportation risks and costs. And I know that we are in round two because round one didn't work of people saying, here's my property, would you please buy it? Now you're into looking at government owned properties. So I live by the Capitol, proud member of the east side of Oklahoma City, and we feel like we're always the dumping grounds. And I'm not saying a jail is a bad thing, but I know that some of the places that you're looking at are on the east side. I'm not saying no place on the east side may be appropriate. I'm just saying have some sense of humanity on the citizens. Since transportation costs has got to be utmost in your mind and risks. What I would like to see you do, and I know it wasn't put before the voters, but have enough money to find a site and make it self-contained. Move the criminal judges, the criminal DAs out near the jail. Have a courthouse out there and self-contain it like you do juvenile. That does a couple of things. It stops the traffic coming into downtown, the overload during jury dockets, and it puts it in a place where security is utmost. I'm not saying you don't care about people in the jail. I have an opinion that most of them don't have any business being over there. They're not charged. They're awaiting trial. We call them criminals. They are not criminals. I'm a lawyer. I've been a prosecutor. You become a criminal when you have been charged and convicted, and not one moment before. So the way you consider these people should not be as criminals the minute you pick them up and stick them over there. So I know that this may be a monetary issue, it may be a timing issue, but when you consider it, and I know you want a campus, just put it somewhere where there's a lot of land. You can self-contain it. You don't have people coming downtown. I really want you to consider doing it. And I understand that you become the final arbiters, that there's a process that's taking place where somebody else looks at it first, makes a recommendation to you. So to whoever that is, let them understand that I'm pleased asking you to consider a self-contained campus. I know that you don't pass laws, that's on the city to say what is an offense, it's on the state to say what is an offense. But we've got to find a way to quit putting everybody over there because they got stopped by a police officer or a state trooper. Okay, and I know you can't answer me now, but please do a self-contained thing. Build yourself a courthouse somewhere else. Put all of your criminal people down here.
Christopher Johnson.
Good morning, everyone. I know that I live in South Park Estates in the northeast side, and I'm going to fight like hell to keep that from coming to my neighborhood or near it. So, first of all, I want you guys to think about, is this working? Okay? Is this jail trust working? I am doing everything I can to try to bring in the Department of Justice and the AG's office in here because I feel like that we have utterly failed. We would have solved it by now. We removed trained, CLEAT certified people and gave it to a board, a corporate board ran by a bunch of ex-politicians, lawyers, and wealthy socialites. Okay? So I want you guys to think about that. Now think about this. Verified numbers of the human death toll from 2000 to 2019 under the sheriff's office. I know there's a lot of hyperbole that everything was worse, way worse there, but I go off of the human body count, and it was 73. That was about 4 deaths per year on average. It depends. You had peaks and valleys, but you have to look at averages, right? Still way too high. It was about 3 times more than national average during then. We're now up to 14. And I'm being generous. It's actually more than 14. It's like 14.36, whatever. I run numbers a lot. So I know that our organizations, victims, families, and survivors, and others, we're always blamed for everything. I mean, even Timothy Tardy Bono went on OATA and said that the hiring problems were because of us. Hand to God or whatever. So, but we are not responsible for 43 deaths, 5 failed health department inspections, hiring members of organized crime, torture, letting multiple go free, signing fraudulent contracts to house detainees. All the cities and municipalities that have contracts with the jail trust, they are fraudulent. Possible other financial fraud, attempted money laundering, fraudulent statements made in public, violations of Open Meetings Act, disfiguring a woman's face, beatings, bed bugs, filth, forcing women to throw stillborn babies in the trash, not handing out medication or feminine hygiene products, being over 70 criminal investigations behind, and so on. That is the jail trust and you guys' problem. You guys need to fix this. You need to figure out what you need to do, because all of this deflecting and saying, oh, it's the David Prater cabal of organized whatever, that's a bunch of baloney. That is a bunch of crap. We need to take accountability. There's only a small clique of people that think that this is working. And you're starting to sound like Alex Jones, QAnon, and Donald Trump. You need to look at this for what this is. You are directly responsible for 43 deaths. These are human beings. I know they don't donate to your campaigns, but they are human beings. Do something.
I need to go. Any other citizens to be heard? I need to go back to the consent docket. Can I have a motion to reopen item 21?
I'll move to reopen item 21.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Instead of trailer mounted distributor, it should say global mahogany boardroom table. So if there's a motion to reapprove that with that correction.
I'll move approval on item 21 with that correction.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, I apologize for not having done that when we went through it. May I have that resolution up there?
Oh, nope.
Okay. Mr. Cleo, would you like to stand here and receive your resolution? It is a privilege to be able to honor this man who brings so much joy into the courthouse and has been a bright light for most people. It's the first thing they see in the mornings, helps a number of jurors and whatever to get to their destination. I will go ahead and read this. A resolution recognizing May 1st as Cleo Fields Day in Oklahoma County. Whereas Mr. Fields was born in Idabel, Oklahoma in 1938 and has lived and worked in Oklahoma County for most of his life. And whereas Mr. Fields, a 1956 graduate of Douglas High School. And whereas Mr. Fields has been blessed with 5 children, more than a dozen grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And whereas Mr. Fields served 2 years in the United States Army and 9 years in the Oklahoma National Guard, and whereas Mr. Fields spent more than 2 decades cooking and working in hotel restaurants throughout Oklahoma City, and whereas Mr. Fields was a successful restaurant owner and operator for 15 years with restaurants in both Oklahoma and Texas, whereas Mr. Fields has spent 26 years serving the Oklahoma County community by providing professional shoe shine services. He is a blessing to everybody who passes his stand and has become an Oklahoma County courthouse legend. Although Cleo is a man of few words, he is known for his generous spirit, enormous smile, and kind heart. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Oklahoma County hereby proclaim Monday, May 1st, 2023 as Cleo Fields Day in Oklahoma County in honor of his 85th birthday and in salute to his outstanding public service. I so move. Cleo, you care to say a few words?
Cleo, can you tell us who's with you here today?
I guess.
Grab that microphone there.
Thank you. I just want to say thanks to everybody. I don't really feel that I deserve this, but I'll accept it and thank you so much. Thanks to everybody. Uh, I'm just blessed to have a second family like the county courthouse people. I consider them family, and it's just a special love there that I wouldn't trade for anything. And I just want to say thanks to everybody for being what you've been for me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As you see, this is my great grand's daughter-in-law, daughter, son. So I'm just rich today. And that's been
Would Cleo's family like to come up here and get a picture with him and his proclamation? All of you taking the time to come down here.
keep my apron on. Me, Brownie. Thank you.
Yeah.
Struggling? It's all right.
And thanks to the generosity of many people who have joined together to want to celebrate this guy, there will be a luncheon in his honor in the jury assembly room tomorrow from noon to 1:30, and everybody is invited. Thanks to all the people who have donated generously to make that food available and his special day. It would have been today, but today is a big day for lawyers, and there were not many able to attend today, so that's why it's been put off till tomorrow. So hope y'all can come back one more day, and we'll just keep the celebration going. All right, was there a second? Yep. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody who came. And then we were asked to do Oklahoma County Home and Community Education Week. Is there anybody here to speak on this? Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, I'm Gayla Mosteller. I am the president of our OHCE, which is the Oklahoma Home and Community Education. We would like to declare a proclamation. Whereas this organization began in 1910, and their goal was to teach farm women in rural America better methods of getting their work done in areas such as gardening, canning, nutrition, sewing, and encouraging them to improve their family lives, family living conditions. And whereas during this time, clubs also took on other educational and charitable roles. Some clubs work together to raise money to help improve their communities. Many women improve their leadership opportunities also. And whereas 113 years later, the Oklahoma County OHCE members are still serving their communities. In 1922, they donated over 22,000 hours serving the organizations like the Oklahoma Veterans Medical Center, Hope Center, Grandparents Raising Grandchildren, Willow's Pregnancy Support, and the Oklahoma Mental Health and Association. And whereas the Oklahoma County OHCE recognizes their great responsibilities towards Oklahoma families and continuing to safeguard their primary ideas and family lives. Whereas Oklahoma County provides a healthy outlet for its 8 groups and over 90 members to reach out to others in the community through personal service and education. And whereas, let this be resolved that Oklahoma County Home and Community Education asked the Oklahoma County Commissioners to proclaim May 7th through May 13th, 2023 as Oklahoma Home and Community Educational Week.
I'd be happy to move that, and thank you for coming to read that for us.
Thank you.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you,
down.
Gayla.
It is with regret that I have to accept the resignation of Charlie Phillips, who's been a long-time member of the Board of Adjustments. She tendered that April 19th, so I'll move to receive her resignation.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I thank her for her many years of service to Oklahoma County. Given that, though, I'm appointing Attorney Randy Goodman to the BOA to fulfill the remaining term of Charlie Phillips, and I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And we have with us Jeff from the Chamber of Commerce to give us a brief report on item 32.
Well, good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity. Wanted to come in and give a quick brief on proposed contract for 23-24 fiscal year services between Oklahoma County and the Greater Oklahoma City Chamber through our Economic Development Foundation to support the growing aerospace and defense industry in the Oklahoma City metro area. A few things I just wanted to call out. One is this has been a longstanding partnership around support for one of the fastest growing industries, not only in central Oklahoma, but Oklahoma in general. Just some brief statistics that I find these interesting is that in the last 5 years, we continue to grow at a very rapid clip related to industrial growth in this area. We're up to almost 300 companies in the metro region, accounting for almost $7.3 billion in goods and services produced and around 43,000 employees. And what I think is really special is the way that the partnerships around this dais and others have continued to lean into making significant investments that have enabled this type of growth, particularly around Tinker, where we continue as a body and in conjunction with you, the city, the state, and the federal government to think about where growth can and should occur, particularly as we look at the east side of Tinker and the future of a new bomber campus to support the B-21 and other opportunities around support for that bed down, the southwest side of the base, also major employment at the FAA and the overall industry in general. And so the focus of this contract continues to be a few key things. One is to support those federal installations that continue to be sort of the create the brunt of opportunity for us, Tinker, the FAA, and specifically project management and protecting existing programs and supporting new investment on the private front, which has grown actually faster in the last 5 years than has federal investment. And an example of that would be the new announcement by Pratt, which will put approximately a new 845,000 square foot facility here, a little over $250 million of investment. That's a project that was worked for approximately 5 years, and really augments what we're already seeing in the space. And then support for existing employers who continue to find expansion opportunities in the market. I will say again, this has been a long-standing partnership. We've appreciated the relationship, and we appreciate the opportunity to continue to work together in a thoughtful way, particularly as we look at infrastructure investment opportunities on the east side and continuing to grow the cluster as a whole. And I would be happy to answer any questions about this year's proposed contract.
Questions?
I don't have any questions, but I'm always proud to support the aerospace industry, and we're happy that you all help us do this. So I'm excited to see the expansion on the east side of Tinker. I know that the county, the city, the chamber have all worked to make that happen, and the state as well.
Absolutely, and you're in, again, time and energy and partnership financially is what makes those things happen. I would be remiss if I didn't offer, to your point, there's so much happening around the build out of the new KC-46A campus. It's amazing to see that campus come out of the ground. Looking at the physical layout where the new bomber campus can and should be, and then looking particularly at the southwest side of the base where folks like Boeing continue to make major investments. An offer I would make to you, your staffs, or any of the other electeds is a personal tour. Patty Ripple, who's our project manager, has the opportunity to take your team on a tour of the base and look both inside and outside the gate. And we'd also like to offer up individual briefings as well, just to kind of walk through what's going on behind the scenes. As you say, there's a lot happening, and we'd love to sort of do a guided tour there, but also to sort of give an interior briefing as well. So thank you for
Done it, and I highly recommend it. It's seeing is believing. So, any other comments? All right, is there a motion?
I'll move approval.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Jeff, thank you very
Thank you,
much
Jeff.
for your time. And I also visited with Drew last week, and he said that he would be assuming more of his duties will interface with the county now, I guess, also. So,
Yeah, like any institution, yours included, I'm sure, we're thinking about how to make sure we stay very closely aligned on many fronts and many partnerships. And one of those is making sure we have dedicated staff that's working with our local government partners. And so Drew Dugan, who has a long history of relationships on policy conversations, is going to also be stepping into a role to help with city and county conversations. And so we appreciate that, and thank you for highlighting that. And I'll pass those regards back to Drew.
just wanted to make you all aware in case you got a call from Drew.
Yes.
Might be official. Okay, thank you
you
very
so
much.
much.
And I was
Appreciate you all.
remiss to not offer a photograph a while ago, and I think she'd like one. So if you mind stepping down, we'll take a picture.
Does she have her? Okay. Okay.
Might take one with the treasurer. I didn't realize he was still here. So Jessica can, that way Butch isn't left out. Okay, District 3.
Yeah, this is just discussion and possible action to amend the BOCC schedule back to where we're meeting on a weekly basis. I know AP would greatly appreciate this. We seem to be having specials almost weekly, so if they were regularly scheduled, it'd be much easier. If you got any questions, shoot away.
Every Monday.
Well, you could see, let me get to it here.
You're proposing every Wednesday, right?
Yeah, it's
Except for the ones that we meet on Monday.
These computers. Yeah, so if you click it like today's Monday and then every Wednesday, 9 a.m.
You wouldn't meet on Wednesdays where we've already met on the Monday, right?
Correct.
Marissa or Carrie, do you all have any opinions about this?
Ooh, that's very tall and very short. If this is what everyone thinks is the best and most efficient way to handle business, then we will support it.
I do agree that we seem to have a lot of special meetings when if we just met right every week, it would hopefully avoid that. I don't have an issue with Wednesdays. Are any staff here that have an issue, like, want to come up and say if they have an issue with this?
I would say I do want to make sure that Cassie, who is coordinating all of the meetings, that we maybe do a follow-up to make sure that this time, and I don't know if there's been a conversation between Commissioner's office and Cassie already, but I do want to make sure that we are picking the best time for everyone, because as you know, we have a lot of meetings already on the books, a lot of special meetings, so we do want to make sure that we are not overlapping.
Part of this is getting rid of those specials. Previously, before COVID, we were meeting every week on Wednesday at 9 a.m. It's what we've been built around for decades. So it was a good experiment. I think it was working, or maybe, who knows, but meeting weekly, as you talk to other commissioners across the entire state, they were shocked to learn that the largest county actually meets every other week. So they were surprised that we could actually make that work. And I was like, well, I'm not sure that we're making it work with the amount of specials that we're having. So that would be, we just would be eliminating the special meetings.
Was, if memory serves, was switching to every other week on Mondays, was that proposed by Commissioner Calvi? I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay.
It's what Oklahoma City does. So it was thought that if they could do it, we could do it and still manage. And, as chair, I've tried to call as few specials as possible. It usually hangs up. Problem is when there's some date of service that's required, there's just really no other way around in order to give our attorneys a fair amount of notice, if especially they have to seek outside counsel. But I've tried to not abuse it any more than just whatever seemed like it was absolutely necessary. And of course, it was trying to get the staff trained to make sure they were doing due diligence and timing the stuff. And that took a little bit on the front end to get that fleshed out. And I think it's better than it was when we initially switched over to get everything switched on the billing stuff. But it's more work on the clerks. It's more meetings than we have otherwise had. It does, in spite of the number of specials we've had, it will increase the number of meetings we have. But it's the board's pleasure. I assume that's your motion.
Hold on, let me get back to it.
Discussion now, but I'll make a motion to approve the schedule, the amended schedule.
No one here has any strong feelings? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I will second the item.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'll vote no. Okay, 34.
This is just to assign Colton Murphy to policy and governance as the second. I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
35.
35 is something with the city of Arcadia. They asked for a bunch of new signs. Their population is increasing, their traffic flow is increasing, so they ran it across their town council, and I'll make the motion that we fulfill their request.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And this is an agreement between us and Canadian County for construction and maintenance of roads and bridges. I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And this is our same thing with the town of Arcadia. I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And last but not least, this is same thing with Deer Creek Public Schools, and I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Madam Clerk?
I'll move to receive if you don't have any
I just
comments
was
on it.
offering, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 39, that's just the abstractor's bond that we received.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then item number 40 terminates our consultant agreement with Nelson Law Firm
Can you remind me what this agreement was
for
doing
legal
for you all?
services.
Say that again.
Legal services.
Okay.
You remember he had replaced Mr. Hood.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Billingsley?
This is the FY23 contract with Shine in Dell City. So I guess I'm understanding it needs to be completed now to make this fiscal year whole, and then we'll be working towards the contract.
It's like some of the others, we've been operating without a contract because it's been renewable for, I think this is our third year for this partnership, but they want to, of course, make it good before the end of the fiscal year.
Right, so this will get us through, and then we'll be doing a new one for 24.
Okay. I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Certainly our thanks to, that is the contract that helps pay for the weekend staff so that Shine is able to go 7 days a week. Miss Hannah?
Good morning.
Hi.
There's no changes to this MOU. It's just an agreement between us and City County. They provide, they have a prep grant that provides our Sex Health and Power Through Choices program. So this is for our next fiscal year.
Okay.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Thank you, Anna.
And this is planning, but it's District 3. Do you want to handle it?
We've had a vacancy on the Board of Adjustment, and this is to appoint Brett Robinson, or Mr. Cooper Brett Robinson, also an attorney, to the Board of Adjustment. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Who wants to lead policy and governance? Jessica?
This is just an item discussing closing out the final expenditures for ARPA project 1415365. And so $3,900.04 will go back into the ARPA fund to be reallocated.
Can you remind us what Q radar is, or maybe what Q radar was? Anyone from IT here? Joe? We're closing out this ARPA project that's complete with IT, and it says County IT Q radar. Do you remember what that was? Security of our system. Okay. Okay, I was just curious. Yeah. I'll move approval.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Under Sheriff?
Yes, we've been with this group called Bid for Assets to try to get the online sheriff sales stuff off the ground. It requires some legislative changes. Any specific questions Major Barrow's going to have to field. He's been heading up this project,
Okay.
so but it's ready to go.
Is it online sales of?
Foreclosures, sheriff sales that have typically been done on the steps of the courthouse.
Okay.
So those fall victim to weather, just lots of different things. So this is just an evolution of technology that allows everything to be a whole lot easier. It's much less effort on behalf of our staff. Didn't cost us anything, so it's
Okay. Cool.
the financial obligations are on the purchaser. Um, so all
Is there
good.
questions?
So unless you guys have questions, we're good to go.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any commissioner comments? District 1?
No comment.
3?
Nothing.
Okay. Are there any other citizens to be heard before we go into executive session? If not, is there any new business? If not, is there a motion to recess into executive session?
I'll move we recess.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
there a motion to return to regular session?
I'll move we return.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion on item 47?
I'll move we proceed as discussed.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
One last time, any citizens to be heard? Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move we adjourn.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ready? Okay, I'll call the PBA together. All three trustees are present. The notice of the meeting was properly posted on April 27th. Is there approval of the minutes of April 17th?
I'll move approval.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Um,
And I'll move our claims.
Guess there is no consent docket. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any citizens to be heard? Seeing none, is there any board comments? Any new business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move we adjourn.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.